everyone. I am so glad that you're here for this Training Tuesday segment. Every Tuesday, I pop on live and try to uplift who you are as a leader, give you some great tools and resources to take with you into this chaotic world we find ourselves living in. And today, oh my gosh, I am so thrilled because the fabulous, amazing, incredible entrepreneur, winner of I can't even remember how many awards, service-minded, heart-centered, amazing woman, Belinda Aycock is here with us today to talk to us a little bit about how to be intentional in building relationships, how to really be alive in your business. And I know she is going to be laying down some amazing truth nuggets for you. So if you haven't grabbed a pen and a paper, you're going to want to do that. We're going to be tagging people that need to hear what she has to say.
I'm doing it right now.
And I cannot believe that she's taken time out. Really, when I say this is an award-winning entrepreneur, I cannot even, I don't even have words because I have been so blessed to be in this circle with her. Another amazing leader, Lisa Carol Pulliam, introduced us, and it has been a fast, amazing friendship, and I have learned so much from Belinda in the way that she treats everyone, how much intentionality she gives, how easy it is to contact her, even though she's got really big britches that she fills because she is on some serious, amazing stages and really is changing the world with what she does. So welcome, Belinda. I am glad that you're here, and I'm just going to let you race, and I may ask some questions along the way, and I'll try to moderate some comments. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, Suzanne, I thank you. And I tell you both of us, we love empowering people to be the best version of them. And that's what it's all about. And I think especially in our world today, if we can really edify each other's strengths and cover each other's weaknesses, amazing, amazing things can happen. And really what I want to share with you today and your audience and all those that are joining us, and I just ask you to tag your friends and to share immediately, because my prayer is that we bring some value to you today. And it's really about relationships. And at a recent conference, I was reminded that if I lost everything, if I still had valuable relationships that I have cultivated over the year, I will be back in the game. And my husband and I have even talked about it. If something happened to my husband or a family member or whatever, because our relationship, number one, with the Lord, I'm going to be okay. And that builds my confidence of who I am and what I can accomplish. And I think most things that people struggle with is confidence. And guess what I do when I don't have a good day in confidence? I just borrow somebody else's. I go to your YouTube channel and I borrow your confidence. I go to Lisa Pulliam, Michelle Prezan, Alice Hinckley. I go to spiritual mentors in my life. And I just say, you know what? I'm going to borrow some of your confidence today. And confidence can be taught and it can be caught. And I choose to do both of those. But one thing that I would really like to be intentional about sharing is through your life, people have opened doors for you. And, you know, Lisa Pulliam opened a door. She felt it was very important that you and I connected. She introduced us by text, and then she let us just go from there. And I love supporting you in your arena, and you've been so wonderful to support me.
Thank you.
But when you go back through your life and you begin to think where doors were opened, and I'm going to share a little bit. I actually have it here. I went to a women's conference in Dublin, Texas. Okay, if you don't know where Dublin, Texas is, that's where Dr. Pepper was created.
Yay, Dr. Pepper.
Powerful anointing there with Dr. Pepper. There you go. I've got my Dr. Pepper actually as well. And it was kind of through a connection that I was invited to go. And I was specifically speaking to women and encouraging them in their spiritual walk. And I ministered to a lot of children with emotional trauma. And now I kind of equip people to minister to children with emotional trauma. And I mean, Suzanne, that can be from, I didn't make the soccer team, to really very, very difficult abuse. You know, your perception is real. That's right. Whatever it may be, it is your reality. Well, did I know that there was a woman named Beth Alvis in this group of maybe 40 people? I didn't know her walk with the Lord. I didn't know the magnitude of people that she knew. And at the end of that conference, she pulled me over. She said, "Come here." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I mean, I just honored her and I hung on every word. And she goes, "I'm going to open a door for you." I said, "Okay, what you going to open?" And she said, "I have connections at Christ for the Nations, and I'm going to open a door for you." And it was just a couple of weeks that I got a phone call and they said, we need to know more about you. And they checked me all out. And they said, would you be willing to come to one of our Voice of Healing conferences and speak on empowering people to minister to children with emotional trauma?
Wow.
And Suzanne, I want to tell you something. In one conference, 90 nations were represented.
That's so incredible.
And in their magazine for that year, I was in the Voice of Healing magazine.
Wow.
And it just began to ripple effect and circulate. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is we have the ability to open doors for people all the time.
Yes.
That connection connected me to someone in Georgia that I went and spoke. And what I was speaking on was shared in 3 different languages. That was a full day. It was so funny. I have to tell you, they spoke Portuguese and Spanish, and they said that they had interpreted English before, but they had never interpreted West Texan. So it took a little laugh there, and they were like, you know, every now and then I would use a y'all or a slang word, and they'd stop, and then they would say, we don't know how to translate that. But you know what? The Spirit of the Lord was there, and it all got translated just fine. There's been people that have opened doors in the spiritual realm for me, but also in business. When Lisa Pulliam and I and several 11 other co-authors were launching a book, Souls in the Sand, which has just been a powerful ripple effect. I was at a female entrepreneurial conference and we were launching that book, and there was someone there that was giving out samples with Color Street nails. And there you go, girl. I was fully focused on launching that book, and I became a customer. And I loved the nails. And as I was autographing books, you know, I would wear this pretty little nail glam. And 3 weeks later, I became a customer. And a lot of people complimented my nails and the things that I did. And they'd go, where'd you get your nails done? I said, they're Color Street. And, you know, today we had a big launch. It's going to happen again tomorrow. We have a patriotic launch happening. And in about 20 minutes, I had over $8,000 in orders come in.
Wow.
So it all boils down to, we want to be grateful and go back to those people that opened doors for us.
Yes.
And we want to be a door opener.
Yes.
And I feel like today we are opening doors for people because that's what you do. You highlight others so people can go, I can do that too.
Yes.
And over and over. And I mean, I have it displayed in my house. I love in the Word of God, it says over and over and over again in the Old Testament, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And guess what I say? I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Blenda. Somebody needs to hear that, because what God did for Abraham, he did for Isaac, and then he did for Jacob. And we're in that lineage. He will do that for you. I think sometimes people feel like they don't have the ability, the confidence, the skill set. I do not have a degree. I graduated from a class of 12. I was sending out graduation announcements and marriage, invitations, wedding invitations 2 weeks apart. And I've just had amazing people come along beside me in my life and open doors. But guess what? You got to have the courage to walk through the door.
Yes, absolutely.
And Suzanne, have you ever been on a revolving door?
Oh, it's terrible. I get a little sick.
So if the people out there that are listening and you're on a revolving door, all I can say is get off the revolving door. Because when you keep circling the same mountain and you're not moving forward, oh man, when you have those feelings of being stuck, that's when we need to reach out to people like you, because you coach people through those obstacles to see themselves on the other side. And I hang on your YouTube channel and I listen to it late at night and I chuckle and laugh because you're the Sparkle Squad. I mean, that's what you do, that you help people realize regardless of what's going on in the world, you can choose to shine. Yes. So I just appreciate and value that. So tell me a little bit about the Sparkle Squad and what you do.
Well, thank you. So what I do is most of my work is focused on getting people unstuck.
Mm-hmm.
So many people get stuck and then they feel like stuck is the furthest that they can go. So it drags them down. They have a hard time claiming they're happy. And so my work is really uncovering those systems, even your past history that's contributed to you feeling stuck, and showing you that there is always a path forward. There is always another way, through mindset training, through coaching, and helping you just kind of customize a strategy for your life to get you moving again. Yes. And you do so much of that work. So I would love for you to share a couple of tips and tricks that you have on how you intentionally craft relationships, because you are just seriously, you're one of the finest people I know that is genuinely, and I think that's a really important word, you are genuinely building relationships. I know I use the word bro marketing a lot. I don't know if any of you guys know about bro marketing. You're in your face, buy it now, boom, boom, boom. And it just so puts people off. And I don't ever want to be that kind of person. I want to empower people. And I think you are cut from the same cloth. And so if you would share a few tips and tricks, I think it would help edify everyone who's watching this live or on replay. If you want to, that would be great.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to share that. And the word intentional is very key. And I feel like there's several stages to a relationship. The first one in a relationship is you've got to plow. You've got to put yourself in the position to meet people. That might be at a nonprofit fundraiser. It might be at your chamber of commerce, the booster club for, high school football games. I mean, I'm in West Texas, Friday Night Lights. We pray that all returns quickly. But you've got to put yourself in an arena, whether it's small or large, to meet people. And sometimes that can be through social media. I love to build relationships through social media. So when you are in the atmosphere to meet people, the next step is you've got to have the seed. You've got to have the contact information to stay in a relationship with them. So step 2 is the seed. And that's when, like, let's say if I was at a Texas Businesswomen networking lunch, I would sit at a table where I did not know one soul. If I know you, I already having a relationship with you. We're going to chat later, but I want to meet new people. And I want to learn about them. And I always say, this is my big statement. How can I best support you?
Yes.
How can I best support you? Whether you're passionate about a nonprofit, you just moved to San Angelo and you had a flat tire, I need a good dentist, whatever it is, how can I best support you? Really get to know the person and not have a personal agenda. Then I would go to the car, and before I ever left from the parking lot of that Texas Businesswomen networking lunch, I would text them. Why? Because the seed, I have their contact information. It was great meeting you today. I look forward to cultivating our relationship. I have some time for coffee this week, Thursday at 10 a.m. or Friday at 2. What works best for you? So it's cultivating those relationships, and you got to water the seed, water the seed, water the seed. That's staying in touch with them through social media. If you see that they've had, a great Father's Day weekend, so I love all your family pictures, or, they had maybe a new grandbaby or whatever. You want to be invested in what's important to them. I send out cards, literally. I write thank you notes.
Recipient.
If somebody gives me their email, I actually email them, so I don't even like the word follow up. I think that what I do is just say, may I keep you in the loop of things going on in my life, and can you do the same for me? Yeah. So I continue to water that seed, and I love staying in touch with people. For a 4th of July, I usually send out my favorite banana pudding recipe, and people love that. And, I am known when I was a PTA president, I have teachers that when my children were in school 20 and 25 years ago, every Thanksgiving, they'll say, we're still making pumpkin upside down cake. And, they stay in touch, and I stay in touch with them. And then the 4th is the harvest. That's when you can really see the reason that we connected is a much bigger person than what we thought. If you'll think about, like, let's say a hospital board or the school board, any type of a board in your community, there's a very diverse group of people, different ages, different cultures, different passions. They all have a heart to serve, but they all have different realms of influence. So in building my relationships, I look for people that are very influential. Now, that doesn't mean they have the most money. That means they know the most people. So when I go, let's say that I go to an event that is a fundraiser for a nonprofit. 2 of my grandchildren are foster adopted. So I love the arena of promoting foster adoption. New Horizons adoption agency. I'm a voice for a lot of those things. So I'm not too concerned with the speaker on the stage. I want to be I want to connect with the person that's running the event, that I see them at the door greeting, that I see them behind the scenes, and I'm like going, they're the one that got the person on the stage.
That's right.
And connecting with those type of people are harvest. They are networkers. They're volunteers in a lot of ways. And I just love that. They're going to give me the speaker's contact information.
Yes.
When I go up and say, hey, it's just been a pleasure to being at this event. Suzanne Sparkle amazed me. I called you Suzanne Sparkle.
I love it. That's okay. That's right.
That's your middle name to me.
That's
Suzanne
right.
Sparkle Castle. Okay. But, when I thank them and have a heart of gratitude, and I'll say, I would love for her to come speak at one of my events. Can you please connect me? That's a great compliment. I mean, I teach my grandchildren, when you go to a birthday party, before you leave, you go up and say, thank you so much for inviting me to this birthday party. I've had a wonderful time. So in that harvest area of the building the relationships, it's very important. And this is so simple and so key. You have to make yourself known.
That's right.
You got to make yourself known, whether that's through a thank you note, a heart of gratitude, verbal affirmations. You've got to be the one in the audience. When there is a question and answer, you're raising your hand.
Yes.
You've got to make yourself known.
I think this is so helpful, Linda, because I am just in spaces where that's not happening. A friend of mine that I met similarly, like through a contact of a contact, her business is, she calls herself a swagologist. And so she used to run the Business Women's Expo in Portland. And she kept being asked, my follow-ups aren't going well. No one's showing up for me or whatever. And she said, well, when you get someone's name, what are you doing with it? If you just say, or if you just do a one thing to them, you don't stand out. And I don't feel like a lot of people exude gratitude right now. And so that helps you stand out from the crowd, and not from a, like you said, not from a superficial way, because this is just who you are. You care deeply about humanity. I mean, you just wear that all over you, and you just always have a smile on your face. That is wonderful. And so it's infectious, and people want to be there and be with you. And so to find your lane in which you can genuinely be yourself, people will show up when you're giving them attention. And I think that's where a lot of people don't want to take the time to give people attention.
Right. One thing, one of my business mentors has taught me, Alice Hinckley, and she learned it from Ray Higdon, and it's Wealth Wednesday. That you just intentionally sow into someone, whether you're at a restaurant and you're going to tip the cost of your bill, whatever. I know in the foster adoption arena, we really, really show a lot of gratitude to our CPS workers.
Right.
And with COVID-19, I'm telling you, there's been a lot of runaway teenagers. We're having some difficulty in placing those children, because in foster homes, we don't know where all they've been, and we've got other foster kids in that arena. And I mean, I've got CPS workers. We have in our community 90 CPS workers. We feed them a meal. We show them a heart of gratitude. We ask them, how can we best support you in the Rainbow Room? And people need to know that they're noticed.
Yes.
that we can't become weary in doing good. So I want to encourage you, if you are a brick and mortar business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are just a citizen in your community, you are valued. And think of a nonprofit that you can volunteer with, that you can sow into, and it will be so enlightening, and you will feel so valued. And that's the bigger purpose. When I go to bed at night, I think, who have I connected?
Yes.
And that's great reward.
I would agree. And there's not enough of that happening. So when we see the world in upheaval, I say often to my clients, and what are you doing to contribute to a different reality? Which is your way of saying, how do I support you? So how do we support one another? What can we do together to make this a better place when we leave it? And you are just magnificent and all that. And I can't believe in like 20 minutes you laid down for us what I mean, I would go all day to hear you speak. And in 20 minutes, you gave me paper, like tons and tons of notes. And it was so good. Linda, thank you so very much.
Oh,
And
you're so welcome. Thank you.
I want to lift you up. So she's a speaker. She's an author. She does a lot of work with major nonprofits. And she is a huge entrepreneur in all sorts of different industries. And right now, especially in Color Street Nails, which I have this fabulous French manicure. Thank you, Blenda. And do you want to plug your business? How could people connect with you further? I would love if they want to train with you, if they want to hear you speak, if they want to find out more.
Absolutely. Color Street Nails is an exploding business. The company turned 3 years old last Friday. I have had the privilege of meeting with Fa Park. He is the founder of Color Street, just a man of extreme passion and tenacity to bring 100% pure nail polish strips to the market. This is Color Street. This is what we call our little black dress. This is Tokyo Life. And it's affordable product. It ranges from $11 to $14, and it's buy 3, get 1 free. And we are going to be expanding to Canada, hopefully in 2020. So it will be doing international expansion. I am blown away from a customer to a stylist. I just promoted last month to an executive. Right before this Facebook Live, one of the people from Color Street called me just, congratulating me for that promotion. And it's just because a lot of people caught the vision. I am a visionary. I love. People perish for lack of vision. I can cast a vision, and then people make an educated, prayerful decision if that's something for them or not.
Yes.
Recently, I did a little pop-up event with Color Street Nails. And again, there was a woman there that was a principal at a school, and she bought 4, buy 3, get 1 free. She just was going to give it as gifts. She reached out to me, Suzanne, because I stayed in touch with her. I appreciated her. I emailed her. I would always message her when there were new releases. Crickets, never heard a word. Okay. Then in May, when school was wrapping up, and it was such an unusual school year, I get a message from this principal in a little community 2 hours from me. And she said, I need some nail strips for my entire staff. I want to give them a gift. And I want them to know, regardless of the school year, they can sparkle. That's exactly what she said. And that was my one biggest sale, $600 to one person. And did you know, over the weekend, one of those teachers that was the recipient of the gift said, I've never worn nail polish in my life. I can't take my eyes off the sparkle. I want to join Color Street.
So good.
And, I don't strive. I just impart the vision, and I am intentional, and I cultivate relationships, and I teach other people to do the same. And I would just be honored. My website is colorstreet.com/B as in Blenda, N as in Nancy, B as in Blenda. And it's very simple. We have a Zoom meeting tonight. So if anybody wants to comment that they want to invite to that Zoom, we share a little bit more about Color Street. And I would just happy to share that. If you can connect with me, that same website shares about the business, and it also shares about our product, and you can go shopping. And the patriotic sets will be out tomorrow. So we have to sport our red, white, and blue. And also a crazy thing about Color Street, and you recognize it as a speaker.
Yes.
You could be at the car wash and people will say, where do you get your nails done?
Yes.
Because you love all the mints and the greens and the teals. It's so pretty with your hair. And, it's a great segue for a lot of business women. They'll say, well, thank you. It's Color Street. I'm a realtor and I love wearing nail glam when I'm signing closing documents. And they'll go, oh, you're a realtor? My niece is moving into town. Or I'm an author. I'm a public speaker. I'm a coach. People they notice your hands. Whether you believe it or not, they're looking at your hands. So it's really been fun. And thank you for that shout out. I appreciate you. I hope we brought some value to folks today. And, Suzanne, I've got to give a door prize for one of your speaking events. And I hope that those will be opening back up soon. You can always count on me to sponsor an event, to give a door prize, whatever it can be that I can support you and help you. I'm here for you.
I was just about to say, Glenda is one of the most giving people. So I am on between 20 and 30 stages a year. And right now I'm on no stages, but that's okay.
This is the stage.
This is the stage. And one of the things that I like to do is gift. I'm a big gifter too. When you show up, I think that I like to reward action. And so she is one of my committed partners, and I just adore her and her gift of service. And I want to thank all of you for jumping on. I hope you'll share this. Remember her 4 steps to cultivate relationships. And I would say that even goes beyond business. So if you are trying to cultivate really good friendships and you're trying to cultivate better family relationships, I really hope that you'll take the information shared in here and start pouring into people in the way that Blenda so eloquently laid out for us. I'm Suzanne Castle. This is Blenda Aycock. Thank you for being here for Training Tuesday, and we will connect with you soon. Thanks, Blenda. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Suzanne.